Hey everybody, it's Coach Kavanaugh with the Sport and Speed Institute. And I get this question asked to me all the time. How important is speed training for the football athlete? And I tell them, it's a game changer. It's the most important thing. In the hierarchy of sport, speed is king. No matter what other aspects that you need to play the game, if you don't have speed, you're not able to even get to that level. So some people want to focus on getting stronger. Some people want to be, getting smarter about the game. A lot of people want to focus on like their reaction or their visual ignition, the ability for them to kind of see things coming. That's all great. But what we like to say in our building is speed kills. And the main reason is that if you're not fast, you're never going to be able to get open to catch that ball. If you're not fast, you're not going to be able to get to that guy to show him how strong you are when you hit him. And as you go through your priorities, speed training needs to be the number one. And yes, strength is a mechanism to get you faster. And reaction is a mechanism to help you get quicker as far as the way you move. But if you don't have speed as the fundamental of your movement, as your top principle for you in your training, it doesn't matter how big you are. We understand football is a mass sport and that if you hit somebody and you're 150 pounds versus hitting somebody that's 200 pounds, the 200-pound athlete's going to win. But if the 150-pound guy has the ball and the 200-pound athlete is trying to tackle him and he can't catch him, it doesn't matter how strong you are or how much mass you have. So speed is king in the hierarchy of sport. So whether it be you getting ready for a combine or you getting ready for the season or even showcasing your abilities at the college level, if you don't have speed, you're going to be on the bottom of the barrel. Think about it. As you go into the off season and you go into the combine and camp season, you're not, no pads on, you got no helmet on, you can't really show the coaches what your skill set is when you actually get into a fair position of sport, which is 11 on 11, so you get to kind of show them all those other skill sets. What really matters is how fast you are. You hear it all the time. With guys blowing up the combine, he might increase his draft stock just by the way he runs his 40 or just by that shuttle drill, not by him actually getting better at football because their career is pretty much over at the college level. Same thing at the high school level. At the high school level, if you go to a combine, you don't have pads on, you don't have a helmet on, you're not able to show some of your football IQ, but what you are able to show is your athleticism and your speed. And if you're the fastest guy there, it doesn't matter who you are, you're gonna get noticed. And it doesn't even matter what position you're in. Look at some of the best offensive linemen or offensive line teams at the high school level. They run wing tees. Why? Because that guard is pulling and he's getting out and he's punching that guy in the face. Maybe that doesn't transfer at the college level for that position, but it sure as hell gives you an opportunity to show them what you could do and maybe gives you a chance to maybe play fullback or even on the defensive ball somewhere else. But it doesn't matter what you have from a strength standpoint, from a size standpoint, if you can't use it. The whole point of getting a bigger motor is that you're able to turn that baby on, hit the nitrous, and then take off. That's what speed is about. Speed actually makes you safer because at the end of the day, I'm going to get less hits and I'm not going to be dealing with all this crap in the muck right here. So it doesn't matter what position you're in, whether you're an offensive lineman, defensive lineman, getting off the ball, right? If we talk about reaction training and where that lies on the kind of the aspect of sport performance, it's extremely important. But once I react, if I don't have the speed, I can't do it. Like I can't get there. It doesn't matter. So the key is to focus on your speed. We get people ask all the time, when is the best time to focus on speed training? I tell them, always, all the time, but we do need to prioritize. And during the season, it's not the time. But the minute that season ends, you got to kind of take inventory of your body. You got to see kind of where you are, and you got to figure out what your technique is. So right after the season's over, we need to make sure that we get you faster. And our entire speed process is year-round, because we understand that there's different segments and different levels or aspects of speed training. In the beginning, it's do you have the capacity to get in a certain position? Maybe you don't have the mobility anymore because you've been playing and you're starting to get tight. Maybe you have an injury that we have to work through to get you ready. So it's all about technical efficiency in the beginning. And then as we get later into the development process, we start focusing on strength. Some of the athletes don't even have the strength to put your bodies in the position that are most optimal for speed. Speed is about putting force into the ground and at the right angles. So our goal when we're working with you is to focus on this whole speed continuum. Like, where is it? Do you have the mobility to get in the proper position? Do you have enough power based upon holding up that posture so you can strike force into the ground? These are all very important aspects of speed training, but it can't happen if you focus on it just for 6 weeks right before your combine or 6 weeks right before your season. What really matters is that you take the long-term approach and that you build it right after the season starts. So as your season concludes, you should get in here and we should evaluate your speed technique first and then figure out if there's anything inhibiting you from being in the proper position. And then we need to start building your engine, so to speak, to get you faster. Our goal is to get you faster. And if you look at some of the guys in our building that have had success, the Devin Fullers of the world that go out and run 4.2s and 4.3s at their pro days, that's what increased their stock at the combine because they already knew where they stood after their career. Yes, he was one of the #1 kids coming out of high school going into college, but your draft stock is dictated on what you do in your college career. And how does that transfer? They understand that they could probably teach him other techniques to get him to that next level because he has speed. You know, you look at, Daniel Brown is with the Baltimore Ravens. Here's a guy who at the wide receiver level, they thought, oh, he's slow. They had him clocked in the 4.8s, 4.9s. Guys outruns a freaking 4.5, and they turn him into one of the fastest tight ends in that position because it transfers. Speed transfers no matter what platform you're on. Speed transfers no matter what court, field, or sport you're in. But in the sport of football, speed kills. So it's so important to see the success that we've had with a lot of our other athletes, whether it be DeVarcus Van Dyke, right? DJ Coles that went to the Raiders from Virginia Tech, runs a 4.34 at his pro day. Doesn't matter what he does in the bench if he can't run as a wide receiver. Doesn't matter what you do in the agility if you don't show that you could actually move on the field and that transfers. But the agility drill actually gives you quantifiable data for them to say he could move laterally, he could change direction. The 40-yard dash maybe doesn't equate to what you do on the field, but you know what it tells the scout or know what it tells the recruiter if you're in high school? It says that that's a kid that I could take that, I could teach him my techniques, and then everything transfers. So now your value increases. So it doesn't matter what position you're in, right? It doesn't matter how big you are, because at the end of the day, you got to be able to show them how strong you are when you hit them, but you have to be able to get there. You're not going to be able to get open if you can't, you're not going to be able to catch a ball if you can't get open. You have to create separation somewhere. This is the main reason why speed is the #1 priority when you start figuring out all of the things that you're trying to work on. So what we've done for you is we have a 5-part series of working with one of my NFL athletes. And I won a national championship at the college level. And what we want to do is show you some of the drills that you could do at home. So if you click the button below, you're going to be able to get instant access to the video. And it's just going to kind of cover some of the things that you could do on your own. And if you're even more interested in that, there's other opportunities there. But you have to focus on speed the minute the season starts, and you have to lay out your entire yearly plan for speed development. I was just with Ben Johnson, the fastest man on the planet, right? And he trains speed year round. And if you want to be the fastest athlete on the field, you have to do the same. So I look forward to getting you started. Click the button below, and then, we're going to get you faster. Remember, speed is king, and speed kills.